it is time for a little bit something different. We are at SAFTAD 2024, and obviously that is the place where you need to come and have a look through our cameras at what the wholesalers have that will end up on the shelves of the different shops. So we are bringing you into the show. It's normally not, it isn't open for public, so all the retailers are here, and we've got the privilege of sitting with Keith Falconer from RAPALA VMC to talk us through a couple of new things that they have. Now, in my fishing years, when we started off, you were not talking about a specific lure, you were talking about a Rapala. So I put a Rapala on, but now there are 700,000 different Rapalas. But we just spoke about a normal lure that's got a bit of a diving action as a Rapala.
That was how it used to be.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Keith, what does Rapala have that is new?
So at the moment, we've got the new Mavericks, which is a new jerkbait that's come into the scene. So with the Mavericks, you've got a deep diver and a shallow diver. It's a suspending jerkbait. So it's a suspending jerkbait with VMC red line hooks, what makes these hooks very unique is that it's made from vanadium steel. So vanadium steel doesn't flex as much as normal steel does, and it enables you. It's super strong, so it enables you to get a thinner gauge hook with the strength, so the hooks don't open up while you're fighting. It's also coated with PTFE coating on the hooks, which gives you up to 50% more penetration. So
Okay, it slides in.
It slides in.
Yeah.
So it slides in. It's what you call like a sticky hook. So the bass just has to swipe it or touch it, and it's already popped.
Okay, so these specific ones, we're talking bass fishing. Just I know everybody's not bass anglers, but what does it mean when it says it's a suspending jerkbait?
So suspending jerkbaits means it holds in the zone, so you'll get it down to its diving depth.
So you'll cast it and you'll reel in, and because of the lip, it will go down.
And it'll stay there.
And it will stay there.
It won't go up. It won't go down. It'll suspend in the area, in the strike zone. So very, very popular overseas that the guys will jerk it in, they let it stop, and then as it stops, the fish will take it.
That pause is very important.
100%.
So that's the time when it strikes.
That's the time when it strikes, especially in winter. Overseas, they fish a lot in winter as a winter bait, where the fish are very slow, and they got to keep the bait in the zone for a lot longer period. So then they'll jerk it in, pause, and then often they wait up to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the fish will end up taking it. So in South Africa, we do a little bit differently. We tend to not pause as long, but you can also wind in a lot faster. So depending on what action, what cadence you get on the lure, depends on how fast that fish reacts.
But I've caught a lot of fish on the pause up to 20 seconds sometimes.
100%.
Sometimes you leave your rod and you're busy with something else, and
they take it. Yeah.
In terms of colors, are these the two new colors, or
there's a lot more colors? There's probably I'd say about 15 colors available at the moment.
Okay.
So in the deep version and in the normal shallower version. So there's a variety of colors depending from matte finish to white to chartreuse to fire tiger. It depends on what type of application, what target species you're looking at. Yes.
Okay, great. So that's on the suspending jerkbaits. Now I see some other big baits there. What on earth is that?
So glide baits have started becoming quite a trend internationally. So your glide baits being a very big profile, normally quite slow sinking type of bait. You tend to pick up your big fish with glide bait fishing. So what this does is just mimics a wounded fish or very slow moving fish. You tend to get your bigger bites. You don't get a lot of fish on them. But when the fish bites, it's a big fish generally.
Okay. So does it glide up, glide down, or how does it work?
Glide side to side. So what you can see over there, you got that action like that. So it'll glide very, very slowly, and different guys do different modifications to the lure. So if you want to make it go fast or you want to make it go slowly, it depends on what type of action. But generally, the name gives it away. It just glides through the water, really. What makes this bait quite unique is that it's got a tungsten weight inside the bottom.
Okay, let's just get if you can just position that in the, yeah. Okay.
So as you can see over there, you've got the tungsten weight. That weight screws out.
Completely out?
Completely out.
You set it.
So you can take it completely out there. So now it's a very slow sink.
Almost
And then
suspending type of
pretty
thing.
much almost suspended.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is ultimately what most guys want. And you can
Yeah.
fish it in the shallower water. If you're fishing more deep cliffs and steeper water, then you can start. Then you screw the weight back in. The weights do come in different
That was
different
size
sizes,
weights.
so you can increase the weight according to what type of water you want to fish. And it's got quite a few threads, so it's not going to just come out
Yeah.
somewhere on its own. So that's quite nice. What also is quite unique with this bait is the swivel that's on the back of the hook. On each hook is a swivel in place so that the fish can't get any leverage.
Oh, so that it's not tight. It actually turns.
It actually turns around. Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So and spins around. So what happens is you drop a lot of fish based on that the hook eventually locks,
Yeah,
and
you
you
gives
and
leverage.
leverage on it.
Yeah.
So that's a unique option there.
Okay.
What you can see in the base also is that there's two tails that comes with it, either a hover's tail or a movable clear tail, and it's just a simple add of pulling out of a split pin, stick the new tail in.
Okay, so I see. So there's a little pin that'll. Oh, that's as easy as that.
As easy as that. And then you
And
start
you
it,
and you
start
slide
the
it.
pin out.
Oh, okay. There it slides out.
100%.
Yeah, see.
So you can change. A
Cool
lot
is
of guys
that?
want to dye their tails. They do
Yeah.
modifications to them. They add in brushes, all sorts of things. So yeah,
Yes.
the swim bait trend has grown quite a bit.
How easy is that? Oh, the other side. No, it's so camouflaged. Oh, there it is. And it's back in.
Back it,
As easy as that.
100%. Yeah.
Sizes on those?
Sizes. So you got 11 centimeter, which makes it quite a nice size. 11 centimeter being a lot smaller, which makes you able to throw it on a medium heavy or a heavy action rod. You don't have to have a specific swim bait rod. So a lot of the times with the bigger models, you end up having to have a specialized rod and reel. So that can be more of a universal.
This is a big bait, eh?
That's a big boy.
What's the size of that?
That's 16 centimeters. So it's
There
big.
it is.
It's
Line 16. That's what is the weight of it?
That is
86 grams.
86
3
grams.
ounce.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you need a specific rod
You
and
need a
reel
swim
for
bait
that.
rod
Eh?
design.
Yeah.
Look, the manufacturers, we do all make those type
Yeah.
of rods, but sometimes the guy doesn't want to go out and spend a fortune on this type of thing. That's why
Otherwise,
got
you have 23 rods on the boat type of thing.
yeah,
One for every
as we
pattern.
do, 100%. Yeah. So look, the guys generally the trend is a bigger baits, but I do find the smaller one gets you that all-rounder bite, which is quite nice. But then for the
a
specific,
big fish that will go for this type of presentation.
Yeah.
Whether it's this or that, he will eat both.
he's going to eat both. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, now in terms of that, while we're at Bass, I see there's a couple of nice, colorful reels here as well.
Yes, yeah. So with 13 Fishing is a new brand onto the market. It's probably about 4 years old in South Africa. So it's a USA brand that's come over to South Africa that we're doing quite well with. There's always we're always trying to update it and keep new products on the market. So we've got 3 different reels here. We've got the Modus SA2. What makes this reel unique is that it's got very minimal ball bearings inside it. So where you don't normally have ball bearings create more inertia and more movement, whereas with the zero ball bearing effect, you don't get so much wear and tear on the reel, and you don't have much maintenance on the reel. So generally, you guys you got to always lubricate your reels and stuff like that. With this reel, makes it very unique that you don't really have to have the maintenance.
So we always thought, oh, more bearings better, but now it's
It
less
is generally
bearings
the case, but in
Yeah.
this case, in this specific reel, there's no maintenance on it. There's less ball bearings. That's what sets it apart. Look, 13 Fishing is known for its colorful stuff, as you can see. So
Yes, I can see that's really colorful.
Colourful,
Yes, if you look at those, look at those colors, eh? Yes.
yeah, then we've got
Silver and green.
Modus in the green, which is also quite a nice new function. This one has got the ball bearings in it,
Yeah.
but yeah, so we offer a different reel for all different price categories and for applications. Then you've got the one that's done very, very well is the C2, Modus C2. It's also a beautiful reel, very, very smooth head.
Move it down there a little bit.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah.
And that has excellent reviews from overseas. It's a workhorse, and it appeals to the angler that doesn't want the colorful reel.
Yeah.
It wants to just keep things more traditional, and that's where we do it with that. And yeah, as
The application of this specific reel is it
mainly for bass angling.
Yeah, but in
Um,
terms of pattern speed, what's the speed on
so
that?
we got 8 speeds, we got 7 speeds, we got 6 speeds. So each
Oh,
reel
okay.
comes in its own different speed ratios. So
Okay.
generally, your all-rounder is your 6 or your 7 speed is
Yeah.
your application. Where the guys go top water, they go for a higher speed reel. And Yana, we cater for every single type.
Okay, of course, cranking reels in those as well.
Cranking reels in
Like
those,
down to 5. Or
down
something.
to 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, and then another little passion of mine.
Yeah.
I can see something interesting here.
Yeah, so this would be your new stuff on the block for yellowfish. Makes it very unique is it's obviously the profile, so the guys use it in the rivers, and it's got a you can't really see it in this picture here, but it's got a little the lip isn't a standard crankbait lip. It's got a little L shape to it.
What
So
is the purpose of the L shape?
it gets you down faster. So it gets you down and then holds it into the zone faster, specifically in rivers where you got current
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So you end up getting the with river fishing, you got to get down into the zone as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Because you only got so much drift speed of drift area for you to cover.
Okay, so if I'm talking Vaal River down with a lot of
Rocks.
rocks and so on, that's the
100%. So this is the maximum is 2 foot. So
Yeah.
you can fish in the shallows where yellowfish normally hang out in the summer. So generally 2-3 foot you're in the comfort without getting hooked into the rocks, but then still operating that right depth. It has got a rattle in it, and it is slow sinking. And best of all, it comes at a price point which makes it really competitive in the market, but at a good price point that one can afford to buy a Rapala and buy a couple and not cry when you lose them.
Yeah.
So yeah, generally it's been well tested overseas in the rivers for trout and many other species, and with
I
fantastic
see there's a
results.
minnow type of and it's that bluish color.
Yes, so that's
little
love
red
roach. So they would look at like Argula minkies,
Yes.
even a baby yellow, something to that effect.
Now I see that if you look at the shape of that lip, apart from the fact that it's got that little lip,
Yes.
it's also a little bit more square. So does it give you that square bill type of deflection
It
of
will
the
give
rock?
you need that deflection definitely inside the river, 100%. So traditionally jerk baits in the river were they get hung up a lot and you'd have a bit of issues with them.
I also see that the hooks, it looks like it's a little bit thicker wire. Is that true?
100%. So traditionally you had a lot of very thin gauge wire, which would end up obviously opening up on fish. So a slightly heavier gauge hook, which obviously for our types of waters, our types of species, especially yellowfish, which are hard fighting fish,
Yeah.
that it would definitely work.
Yeah, and I see if I look at the size versus the size of the lure, the hook is reasonably sized.
Reasonably
It's not a
sized.
little small one on what you normally get from these.
And what
smaller-
often happens is that with the when you got the two trebles on there, the one gets hooked on the other, you
Yeah.
get a little bit of complications. Generally, for our waters, I do suggest putting on singles
Yeah.
because obviously yellowfish is quite a protected species, and we do try to safeguard our yellowfish quite a bit. So trebles tend to do a bit of damage in the past. So we do sell a mangrove hook, which is the right size for that single.
Okay, and the eyes.
The eye is in the right
In the
direction.
right direction.
And also, some people were always worried in the past whether it'll affect the movement of the lure. It doesn't affect the movement of the lure.
I love fishing with a single hook.
100%. It's a bit more ethical and then it keeps everyone happy.
I even fish at wobblers.
Yeah. I come from a fly background. Barbless is the way to go. You don't have that bob going in and out, which actually hampers your hook up ratio.
Yeah.
And
The barbless hook actually slides in very nice. Yeah.
Definitely. It goes straight in. You've got better penetration, and you don't drop fish.
Yeah, you don't drop it. I fish barbless most of the time.
Yeah. So that's our new stuff on the block. Yeah.
Keith, well done. I think you've hit it. I think in terms of what we're going to see for the yellowfish, those are great. But the glide baits, I've never ever in my life fished a glide bait, but I think it's time.
Look, I also in the past never used to fish glide baits. I was a bit scared to because I didn't know too much. I've given these a couple of throws over the last year, and I've been converted. So I think you'll be happy.
So those big bass on Loskop,
they like it.
They will eat it.
They will eat it. Loskop, Renosterkop, all the day.
This one, if you look at this one, you know the red-nosed mudfish 100%. With the large red eye in Loskop?
Yeah.
This is a perfect imitation of
Perfect imitation,
that.
definitely.
I know it's roach, supposed to be roach, but I think this is called a road, so I don't know what
It
it's
is a
called,
rough
but it
road,
looks
yes.
like,
But it looks for us, that's what it
yes,
looks like,
it,
definitely.
it looks like a red-nosed mudfish
100%.
because it's got that large red eye.
And if you don't like the red tail, you can always swap out with the clear tail and keep it
Yes,
quite,
yes, yes.
quite
I
normal.
think for low scope, I'll go with this, with the red eye, but with a clear tail.
100%.
Oh, definitely try that out.
Yep. Ah, well, let me know when you want to go.
2 weeks time. Okay, well, that's it. Keith from Rapala VMC with a couple of very interesting new stuff, which makes me very excited. So we'll be back a little bit later. Remember also, tomorrow we'll be here the full day, bringing you as much as possible, empowering you to go and ask the right things at the tackle shops. Cheers for now.